And get started, Gauri.
Yeah, 1 second. Oh, 1 second, Girish. Yes.
Sure.
Namaskar, we're going to begin. We're going to begin with centering and grounding ourselves. Welcome back to session 24. This is the last and final session of cohort 5. We're going to begin with the opening prayers as usual. Sahana Bhavatu. Please sit comfortably, sitting in any comfortable posture. If you're sitting on a chair with the feet on the floor, make sure you have full foot contact with the floor below. Sitting upright with the back straight, the back, neck, and head in a straight line. The back is straight but not stiff. Close your eyes gently and relax the expression on the face. Let the tongue become heavy and fall down to the bottom of the mouth, letting the relaxation travel in with the tongue into the throat and beyond. Relax your shoulders. Relax your belly. Now stay in the belly as you breathe in, let the belly expand. As you breathe out, let go. Breathing into the belly, let the belly expand. Breathing out, let go of all your thoughts. Let go of all unfinished business. Breathing into the belly, let the belly expand. As you exhale, let everything go and feel a gentle, sweeping sense of relief pass through you. Bring the palms together in Namaskar Mudra, pressing the palms together gently, touching the fingers together gently, and gently touching the back of the thumbs into the chest. Bring your attention to the hollow space between the palms. Pay attention to any vibration, any sensation, any pulsation in the palms. Inviting the divine to stay here in our heart, animate our body, and illuminate our senses, bringing us a tingling sense of joy. We wish for peace and we wish for vigor and activate our knowledge centers. We're going to chant Om 3 times and then the opening prayer, Sahana Bhavatu. Exhale completely, take a deep breath. Inhale. 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 Inhale and chant. Sahana Bhavatu, Sahanau Bhunaktu, Sahaviryam Karavavahai, Tejasvinavadhitamastu Mamitvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Take your arms behind you, grab your right wrist with your left hand and breathing in, stretch. Breathing out, bend forward in a deep sense of surrender. Come back up, breathing in, release your hands, rub your palms together to generate some heat, and then gently cup your eyeballs to transfer that heat, massaging the face and the neck. Now blink your eyes open and pull your palms back like an open book. Namaskar and welcome back to session number 24 of the CHT cohort 5. All of us in the faculty are here and we are excited and thrilled that you have made it this far, and we are eager to hear from you, your thoughts and your reflections. With that, Kailaji, I'd like to invite you first to address the class.
Thank you so much, and thank you everyone for joining the class today. It's a very important class for us. I think the broad objective for us in this class is to sort of get us all on the same page in terms of where we are, where we were going forward. And really the biggest message I want to share with you is that when you started the class in the beginning, like the classes before that, we have told everyone that we have an ambitious plan to do something that has not been done in our Hindu tradition before. That is to have a concept of trained volunteers and Hindu chaplains. And we have successfully started. And we also said to you that you are coming to learn and serve, and that HCI, basically, we are all kind of flying and building the airplane. So we're all also building HCI. So your contributions are all your work you do, the home dollar projects you do, everything that we are doing together is building HCI into a robust, big organization. And I think we're going to keep repeating that same speech for the next 5 years. Once we reach 10 years, hopefully we'll quit talking about it because it will have strong legs and all the rest of it together. So again, I just say thank you for your participation in the course. So I'm going to touch on a few points before we open up for discussion and other faculty members to also share their perspective with you. So I have the pointers for this to me are back to the basics. The homework assignments need to be tallied. So basically the process works, the new registrar, that is Usha ji has to look at all the records and make a recommendation to the board by July 15 as to who should graduate and what the status of the homework is for each one. So please pay attention to your homework. The second area where she has to also sign off on is the Om Dollar project status. And I say status there because it has been not as clear as the homework has been. By virtue of the process we follow, the communications, your priorities, all sort of reasons. So I'm not pointing any fingers in any direction, but we know that it is in a kind of a fluid situation in most cases. So what we are saying this year, by the way, the good news is that will not be the case next year. We have found a beautiful solution, and you're going to benefit from that solution as well on your way out after graduation. We now have a Om Dollar project app. This app will be able to monitor all your volunteer work, all the contributions in not just for HCI, but for any part of your life, and you can carry it on for the rest of your life. It's going to be a very valuable tool. And so what we have decided we're going to do is we are going to have your faculty, the resident faculty that is responsible for your sign-off, will sit down with you before that date and see where you are on your Om Dollar project, what you have done, and make sure that, and hand you the app and say, by the way, depending on their discretion, depending on how your communications have been with them, so I'm not going to make any judgments on that. They may give you a flexibility to say, okay, we're going to give you some additional time or this additional project or whatever flexibility, but we want you to complete that and record it on the ODP app and then get a sign-off done. So it's all kind of an honor system. We're going to basically trust and believe in your commitment, and we say. So that is how we're going to do. Many people probably have met their requirements. They will know they have been told, and so on. So that is the second part, is the Om Dollar project. The next point I want to make to you is that, okay, what happens once you graduate? I think we sent you a presentation, a video with all the details. And basically, we are requesting you to do one of four things. We're saying don't stop here. So that is the fundamental message. Take your CHT knowledge and protocols that you have learned forward. And you can do it in first option, we believe is a strong option, is to go into chaplaincy, but that is not for everyone. You have to tally it with your career ambitions, your time commitments, and all that stuff. But that is one place that you can really move. And we, as we said, we want to create 108 chaplains in the next few years, and in all countries. So it's open for South Africa, open for Australia, Canada, US, and all other countries. So that is the first avenue. The second avenue for you is to re-engage or engage with HCI in one or more projects. And your best contact for that is Ushaji. If you want to be FA, sign up and you get due credit for your ODP there. If you want to participate in, we're looking at this prison chaplaincy training, for example, but that apparently most people can do easily. That can be a source of your own dollar kind of earning and so on and so forth. And so HCI has also leadership positions where we have a succession planning. So for each position, we need some names who are interested in our view. So if opportunity arises, we invite you to come in. So that is your HCI opportunity. Your third opportunity is to go back to whichever community organization that you have been attached to before you came to this course or today. And now you go back equipped with much better knowledge, protocol, and kind of the breadth and the width of your possibilities that you can add, and maybe even getting on the board of directors of those organizations. And we have given you a very simple video describing what it is to be on the board, how do you get there. And by the way, for everything that you do, we will always be available for you, mentoring for you to get guidance from resident faculty. All of us will be available to you. So I just want to make sure that that's your third option, to go back to your. The fourth option, for those who don't have an attached organization, don't want to go into chaplaincy, don't want to come back to HCI assignment, we urge you to go to your nearest hospital in your community or nearest senior home or homeless shelter and create an official engagement, not just casually walking. Find a position, a volunteer position that you fill in for that organization, and continue your this knowledge and the learn serve kind of a scenario that we talked about. So those are the four options we ask you to consider. And whatever you do, we want you to be attached to the HCI Sangha. That is part of our group. Stay in communications, stay communicating with us. And by the way, bring us scholars. We want everyone, look around in your neighborhood, in your friend circles, in your relationships, and send in one scholar into the cohort 6. So make a note, please. That's a serious request from you. And we can interview them, send them to us to talk to us. We'll talk about all the possibilities and how it might fit them. So staying with the Sangha and helping with recruiting is my last appeal to you. And with that, I think I'll just stop here, and I will request Mukundji to kind of we just go around and give you a quick perspective, and then we'll open up for you. We're going to have time for you. Don't worry about that. Mukundji.
I'll take less than 60 seconds, Kailashji. This has been certainly for all of us faculty. We have new learnings when we engage with folks like you who come into our course and then go through it and grow with us and show us your passion and your commitment and interest in continuing efforts in whatever way, shape, or form. So we applaud you for the interest and the motivation that you've taken to come this far and complete the certification. I'll just say one thing. which is what I said to you at the outset, at the beginning of the course, that this is not a pure learning exercise. This is an exercise that is a learning to serve. And, as Kailash pointed out, each of you has to figure out where your passion lies, where your interest lies in service. It doesn't have to be anything big. It doesn't have to be building the next skyscraper in the volunteer arena. It's just simple connection with another human being and being there for them in whatever shape or form. So, and I've learned in the course of my life that if I'm not interested and passionate in what I do, I can only do it for a certain time and then that fades away. So find something that drives you, find something that's passionate for you, and then go after it. So that's all I have, Kailash.
Punitji. Hello.
Yeah,
Punitji?
sorry, my
Okay.
video is topsy-turvy, but I'm so glad you're all here and coming towards the end of the term and looking forward to the next phase of applying all this that you've learned. And your contribution, your feedback is constantly helping us improve the course and add and tweak it. Kailash already mentioned the improvements we are making to the ODP to reduce the frustration level of not being able to connect and not knowing where you stand. So that's going to be a great improvement. And you've kind of given us some feedback when you haven't been able to get the ODP done. So, and that's going to work out. The other feedback has been about the videos themselves from a number of you. So we are improving on those, trying to make them better and maybe more standalone and not have interference from different questioners, and also not have some of those starting problems that we have in some of the videos. So all of that is going to improve the art quality of rendering this program. And, if any of you want to sort of next year be the faculty associates and see how we've changed, so you can sort of hold us to it. You promised us better videos, but you have or have not. So, you have an opportunity there of sort of catching us and making us keep that promise. So I really want to invite you to do that, be the faculty associates, and wish you all great luck. And of course, you can always reach out to the faculty here, while you're volunteering in any capacity, if there are questions, and we are here, to answer them and support you in any way we can. That's it.
Thank you. Thank you, Punitji. Mangalaji, next, you please go ahead.
Yeah. So namaste, everyone. Very happy to see all of you. So I'm going to give you two perspectives. One is from the HCI resident faculty perspective. 5 years ago, when we started with the course, we literally sat in a classroom every Sunday. And then we kind of moved on to the online way. And we tried the hybrid one for a while, where some online and some live classes and so on. So what I'm trying to say is, we are learning just as you're learning along the way. So we have tried to make a lot of improvements in terms of, bringing in new classes, keeping the homework kind of relevant and somewhat hands-on, so that I don't think any of your homework is, more than a page or 200 words or anything like that. So we have also tried to craft the homework in such a way that it's more of a practical thing. What did you learn in theory and how are you going to put it into practice? So we hope everything that we have been doing in the background is going to be helpful for you. Kailash already explained how we are going to further improve the ODP process because we realize all of you are, working adults, moms and dads, have a million things to do. But, one thing you need to realize is when you enrolled in the class, I think it would have been obvious to everybody. This is not a sprint. It's a 24-week marathon. So you have to commit yourself to finish it. And when you go outside to start to practice the skills that you have learned, it will be a marathon. But you will have the advantage of picking up your pace and at what pace do you want to run? Everything starts with slower speed, and then as you build the rhythm, you are going to be very successful working in the community. So we encourage each and every one of you to, put what you have learned into practice. Wherever you start, pick a starting point and just make sure that whatever skills you have learned is not going to go waste. And as everybody else has mentioned, we are here for you. We are very, very open to suggestions. If you want to give us any feedback on your perspective of the classes you took, what you had to go through, what worked and what didn't work, and what you would like to see, we are more than happy to take that feedback from you because we also continue to learn with you. So that's it. Very happy to see that you're almost there.
Just, you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Bangladesh. Yeah.
Thank you, Kailash, and I join everyone in congratulating you to finishing this part of the course and beginning the next stage of work, which is a lifetime of service. We started this program because we genuinely believe that that the joy that comes from selfless service has been missing in our and everybody else's life, and we want to give that to everyone through this program. And now that all of us have learned to serve, nothing will bring us more joy than you receiving the joy of service for the rest of your life, because then we know we have done our job and you have helped people at a time that they need help. In terms of the program design, we are always improving. We're always looking for feedback. And this summer, we're going to be looking at the curriculum again, looking at a bunch of videos that need to be redone. Kailash already talked about the Ohm Dollar application. We're also looking at our services that we're delivering and so on. So we're doing a lot of things simultaneously as we speak. And so it's always a moving feast, so to speak. There's a lot going on at HCI at every time. In terms of how to serve, Kailash talked about those 4 things. We did not spend too much time talking about serving on boards, but we hope you've had an opportunity to go through the video and you get an opportunity to watch the video again. Your Moodle accounts will be live and will stay that way into the future. So you should be able to come back anytime and watch all the videos that you like. You're, of course, always welcome to audit the classes again. We will be moving you from one WhatsApp group to another, the wider Sangha, when you graduate. And at that time, whenever we do classes, you can, of course, come in as a faculty associate, but you can also join and listen into new lectures and participate in that manner as well. So if you enjoyed these lectures and you want to hear what's happening next, well, come back and listen into the classes. It's always going to be a lot of fun. In terms of the Ohm Dollar app, what I wanted to say was that when you receive the app this year, you will receive it in negative balance, naturally, because we are working through, but don't stop at 0. This app is yours for the rest of your life. Go ahead and as you keep tracking service, keep marking it there. And we hope that this becomes something that becomes your legacy, that you pass on to your children and say that, look, this is the work I've done all my life. Every bit of work is documented, it's here, and you can be proud of the things that mom, dad, granddad have done, grandmom have done for the community. So think of it that way. It's a lifetime of work, and then this Om Dollar app should help you all the way through. The other things that we're doing, we expect to launch other courses. We've talked about the wedding officiation course, so we expect to see some of you back at that course, because I know half the people here might be interested in doing it because it's exciting. So we expect to see you back there. We'll have other courses also that we're working on. So there's always some work or the other going on. And this creative ferment is a very exciting thing. So we'd hope for you to stay connected and stay involved and stay participative in so many different ways, whether consuming content or whether just responding to the group or just participating in the Sangha Satsang. Personally, for me, I like Mangalaji said, we all like meeting people in person, and now that you're in South Africa, Australia, other countries, I hope to be in your countries, and I hope to see you, or whenever you're visiting the Bay Area, California, for sure. A lot of our team is here. Do give us a holler, and we'd come by and meet you. Don't wait for a big event in that sense. So with that said, I'll pass it to Ushaji. Ushaji, your comments, and then Nitiji, I'd like if you could also talk.
Namaste, everyone. First off, this has been a great cohort to work with. I have individually interacted with almost all of you. And of course, as a group, this has been a very, very, very homogeneous group to address, to work with, to deal. So thank you very much for giving me a wonderful, wonderful experience. I wish you all the very, very best. And Kailashi and Mangalaji and Puniji have already laid the foundation for the pitch I'm going to be making to you all. Like, please do sign up as faculty associates. What it'll do to you is, you've seen the scholar side of being at HCI. Now you can see the leadership side of being a part of HCI. And it's a totally different, fascinating experience. This is a great group to work with, and your life just will be enriched. So we do encourage all of you, just even if you sign up to run one session, what it will do is personal enhancement. It'll give you a network of people that that you get to meet in the CHT Sangha itself. It's all positive. So please do that. And we're looking forward to your graduation on August 18th. And I have a big responsibility, as Kailashi said, on July 15th. So please do make it easy for me. Make sure your mailing addresses are correct. Everything that we have for you is accurate, so that we have I can say everyone is graduating and everybody has met all the requirements that we have put forth. Thank you.
But actually, that reminds me of something I meant to say, Ushaji, which is between now and graduation, there's still a lot of work going on.
Yes.
Even with your cohort, we have a souvenir that we build every year. And so you will receive a souvenir. We usually like to mail it over. We like to also print cards and mail those over that you can use to introduce yourself as a counselor, spelled differently for Australia and I suppose South Africa. But we make these cards, we send them over, we make this amazing souvenir, we send that over. The graduation itself is a well-produced event, and you should invite your friends, your family. It is a moment you should be proud of, and it is an event that you will be proud of, because it's always fun. There are interesting speakers. There is always some entertainment, and of course you get to talk about the course and tell everyone what you've been doing for the whole year, missing on weekends. Thank you for that reminder, Ushaji.
Okay, Gauraji, I wanted to add on to that. This is a good time for everybody to look at your bios, right? And follow the format that's there, right? Gauraji is very, very stingy. So he just has this tiny little bit of space that he allows, and your picture has to fit there, and everything that you want to say about yourself is there. So make sure your educational qualifications, your voluntary work, right? And what HCI has done for you, these things stand out, right? So please do go visit your bios now and give it to us at the earliest that you can. We would appreciate that.
I'm
Thanks.
glad you said Gaurav is stingy and not that I'm stealing your own dollars.
Well, I didn't want to be, I didn't want to expose you to.
Okay, so I think
people.
we'll do one wrap up on.
No, I wanted Nitiji to also.
Okay, good. Yeah. Good.
Sorry, yeah.
Nitiji.
So I think all the wise words have been said. The only thing I want to say is congratulations, and I can't wait for all of you to cross the barrier, cross the finish line, and for me to cheer you all up, and looking forward to seeing you all work in the community. I think we all work so hard, put in so much effort. The whole idea is we want to scale ourselves a little bit more than just our little community that we are volunteering and serving today. And you will be amazed when you get to spread your wings and go out and serve the larger community. And it's just a bliss, and I can't emphasize enough, whichever path you take, whether you choose to continue to volunteer in your current role with HCI, do the ICP course, it's all going to be joy and satisfaction. So the meaning in what you have put forth in the effort is now going to show. So I think you sow the seed, you watered the plants, and it's now time to enjoy the fruit. So I'm just excited for all of you to enjoy the labor of your hard work. So congratulations.
Wonderful. Thanks. So by the way, if you're looking for the extra dose of energy towards your decision for chaplaincy, Nitiji is a place to go, and Ushaji is close second right there. So you have amazing resource to give you selfless kind of a guidance that money cannot buy. Okay, so I just want to plug that in there. So I think
opening it up to scholars, I have a question to ask all the scholars. As you're thinking and waiting for your turn to speak, my question to you is, how have you changed through this program in your reflection? What has changed about you that other people have noticed and told you? That's what we'd be curious. I'd be curious to know.
I think you have to say if you have changed.
Yes.
They are very shy. You just go one by one.
I'll cold call. I'm going to cold call and deal with that kind of situation.
Yeah, cold calling.
I'll let people answer for themselves. Who wants to go first?
Very shy.
Nandita, go ahead and unmute yourself and.
Okay. So I'm sorry. Let me just do this one. Sorry, I was logged in.
Now we can see.
Okay, I was logged in from both two devices, so that was a little difficult. Yes, I think all of us have changed. But what do others see in you? Any changes? For me personally, I think a lot of people have mentioned I've become quieter, and I listen a lot more. And I was a listener to begin with, but I think what they're noticing is that I've become much more quieter now. I tend to just observe more, and so that's what others have noticed. My family has noticed that I've become kinder to myself. So they feel that I was very hard on myself, but I've learned to become, I've forgiven myself for a lot of things. And that made me a much more happier person, I think, around the family, right? Where we are very different people when we are outside and when we have no guards up in our own homes, right? So I think they noticed that change in me, that I'm happier inside.
Interesting.
That's lovely to hear. Any thoughts about the course that you want to share with us?
So the course, I think, is and a lot of people may not agree with me, but I feel that the homework was could have been longer assignments, in the sense that we were given such dense material to study and all, and then to put it just together in 200 words. Sometimes I felt it was not doing justice to all the hard work that the faculty had put together to present it to us. So I would have liked lengthier assignments. I know nobody else would agree with me. But I also feel that the gaps in between were good, because sometimes I wanted to go back and keep reading and listening to more and more and review my own notes or make more notes. So I think a gap, that was good. That was very good. The material was very nice. It was addressed pretty much all phases of the life, how you counsel the children, how you counsel the counselors, and how you become your own, elderly people and everything. So it really went the whole gamut of life cycle. I really like that part. Lots of opportunities that one can identify with, wherever you want to go and serve. So many avenues were exposed to us through this. And so I don't think anybody will have a problem finding their own niche. I personally think I like the idea that I can attend more lectures, even though they're the same courses, because every time that I have gone back and listened to an older lecture, I've just learned something new. So it's just interesting that I've heard it like 3 times, but 4th time when I hear it, I learned something new. So there's a lot of self-reading that has to happen. That part is something we must all do beyond this. So I'm going to be taking a break. And then my whole goal is to actually be in the chaplaincy course, because I realized that just this course required a lot of effort, and we barely touched the surface. There's a lot more to be learning, self-learning.
Thank you. Good to hear that.
The course is excellent, and you all are our role model. We must work hard and work for the community and work for the organizations. I don't know whether anybody has noticed any change, or they might have noticed any change. Nobody has mentioned, but I have changed myself. How I was serving before, it will be more organized with the course. The videos were excellent. I have gone back to, all of you have put so much of effort, and I have gone back to and listened to the videos again and again. The homework was, I also found the homework, I think you people try to make it easy so that people don't leave, the homework is always relevant and not difficult. So we should be, and I think the efforts you people are doing, you are role model, and we should learn from that how much difference it made to us, then we should make difference to other people. My aim from very beginning, since I started the course and listening to the videos, was to involve people below 50 as a scholar, because I feel that I would have done this course when I was 40. It would have made, I have so much time I have now to do. That's what I sometimes think. But the course is excellent, and we are so happy, and I'm so happy to do this course.
Thank you, Narendra. Sukumarji, I know you're on a clock, so if you're able to share, we'd love to hear from you.
Oh, yes. Sorry about this. I was working today. So with respect to what changes, I hope you guys are able to listen to my voice.
We can hear you, yes.
Yeah. So with respect to changes that I see that has come up in me is, I always knew that there's so much there's so much what we are so much there in the scriptures that I can learn from, but I never gave time to it. I never thought that I should be. So if I need to learn something, I need to sit and read and find out about it. But yes, whenever I used to watch videos, I mean generally as well as, so I used to always get moved. But after this course, I think what I've learned is I need to regularly sit and read and study everything that Hinduism has to offer. And through this course, I found it's so structured and it's so easy to learn. And then you can go through the same thing again and again and know better. And that learning has definitely changed in the way how I see life, see family, see my patients. What is that I should get involved in? What is that I shouldn't? What is the purpose of my life? Why am I doing this? So definitely this course has brought in a lot of changes in me. And I'm still learning, and I'm sure that I'm going to go about going to this video again and again to better my perspective about everything around me. This is with the course. And in me, like the changes that I can see, I've already started my own dollar project with my Forget Me Not, a dementia organization in the hospital in Royal Perth. And I could see those things that I've learned. I'm implementing with the patients who are a bit distressed, who are confused, and you know how it works in hospital. Nurses are so busy that this part is not able to be taken care. And when I spoke to about my with my supervisor that even I'm a nurse, but unfortunately it becomes quite difficult for me to do that part of thing. But she said you can, because we have resources that you can use, which will actually calm the patient's patient anxiety with small things. So for example, if the patient was a painter, or if the patient worked in the hospital and has got dementia, so or in a warehouse, so definitely, you know, or is in account, so just give him paper and a sheet, and then he'll keep writing things on it. So you know, instead of patient getting anxious and showing behaviors, you're occupying the patient. So instead of going with the non-pharmacological way of non-pharmacological strategy. So definitely I've learned a lot, and I hope I'll keep learning. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sukumarji. That's beautiful, and we'd love to hear about the work you're doing in Forget Me Not. So maybe if you could, you know, maybe record a brief video, send it over. It'll be great to hear it for all of us. Very inspiring.
Oh yes. And the other good thing is that I've spoken to my supervisor, and you know how children are. So I've asked them if my child, who is now 18, can join in as a volunteer, so that, you know, he will develop that compassion. You know, it's very difficult for a dad or mom to say, you know, you have to be compassionate with them, you know. So this thing I learned from this course, and I'm delivering it to my kid, and I've got a permission. So very soon I'll be getting my son also to do this thing. So, you know, he'll develop that attribute in his character, like, you know, to be compassionate, to look at things in a different way, not what you learn in social media.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
Very powerful. Yeah.
Beautiful. And we should get your son an Om Dollar account.
Yes. Slowly, I'm going to get everybody in it. I've already spoken to my wife about it, and she's quite impressed with me also. Like, you know, I'm still sitting and finishing my assignments, and you know, so and then when I learn about who am I, or so I talk to her and I tell her this is what I learned, and then she puts her perspective, because she's from Chinmaya Vidyalaya, and it really works well. So definitely I'm going to get her also into this, but you know, it will take some time because we both are working and getting things in order. But yes, definitely.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Sukumarji.
Thank you, Hari.
Who wants to go next? Vaishali ji, and then Sangeeta ji, in that order.
Namaskar, everyone. And yes, I would second everyone's thought that this course has been really good. You all have spent so much of time, and it's obviously every part of it has been a really good learning journey for me. I learned a lot of things related to maybe psychology and medical terms, which I never knew. And like, you know, obviously there's like, you know, now at least I have tools to serve in a better way. Like, how Mangalaji had in one of the lectures had the whole toolkit of how to do volunteering. Like some thoughts I never could, like, I thought, okay, you want to just, I thought willingness was enough to do any kind of volunteering, any kind of serve. But like, the tools that you guys have provided is really, really good. Course structure was good. I would say it's like, it covered everything. I've like, as a person, I've realized like a lot of things that I would have understood in a different, or I had a different understanding of. I'm like, okay, maybe this is the way it needs to be handled. So it's obviously changed me as a person to deal different, especially because I'm actually a sandwich generation. So now I know how to deal with both the side, and it's challenging. I would not deny that. But like, I've and also I think it's developed a lot of tolerance for things that I otherwise wouldn't have been so tolerant about. And then obviously assignment, I would say 200 words was enough for few topics. For few topics, I think 200 wasn't enough. So it depends, like, but maybe like, instead of in 200 words, just say minimum 200 words. So everybody has to reach the minimum goal, and maximum they can just at least set their own limits with most of the assignments. And but yeah, it's been really good. Like most of the lectures have, like, so much, they go in so much details. Few things obviously which I did mention when I shared my reflection is like, about will, or about like, few of the activities that's been like, specific for California or specific for US, like, will making and all those kind of things. If you can't make like a separate video of it, if like, maybe for an Australian, like, Australian or South African or Canadian, like, audience, which obviously relates to their local laws, and I'm more than happy to help them, but I just don't know where to start. And obviously Kailashji, when I had mentioned about my home dollar project, he did mention the same thing, that like, we can come up, like, we can come up with our own things, but I just need a skeleton to work on. Like, if there is a skeleton where I can, like, start. I've already started talking to people to enroll them for the next cohort. Like, and I have few friends when I was telling them about this, because just like, how the Hindu Sangha is there, and then there are other communities that are called Swadhyay and all, which are more language specific, but they do have, like, courses that they try and run in Hindi and in any other languages. And they were actually not aware of any course like this, and they thought it was really good idea. Since, because like, in Australia, it's like we have a lot of first generation and second generation migrants. So we, like, a lot of people are bringing their parents from overseas, and after COVID it has become kind of a, like, more and more people are bringing their parents here for, like, better environment and to give them a better life. And it's always worrying, because like, for 3 years they couldn't see them. So it's going to be very helpful. And after COVID, obviously the need for, like, a lot of mental health, like, people need to be looked after for that, and that is also being covered really well in a lot of like lectures. So I think I'm definitely going to use this. And I live very close to Temple. My mother-in-law is just gone for the seniors meeting, and I'm like, I'm just going to come up with a material very soon, like, as soon as I have a little bit constructive to talk to all of them about it. And they actually did, like, I spoke to 1 or 2 people when I go to Temple, and I spoke to them, and I did mention, and they also didn't have any idea that there was something like, and they thought it was a really good idea to have a, like, volunteering services, which is completely designed for Hindu community. And especially if we get, like, language specific services, like, if you have extra skills of speaking 1 or 2 languages, like I speak 2 languages, so I can at least like, speak with 2 coordinate, like, 2 Indian languages. So I think that's something. But yes, it's definitely the toolkit that you guys have provided, which I'm going to use for my personal growth.
Wonderful.
Sorry.
Thank you, Vaishali ji. Sangeeta ji, you're next.
Hi. First of all, thank you for the course material and the lectures that you all did so well and shared your knowledge with us. It's great to be able to look back at everything. And I'm okay with the 200 words, by the way. No one's noticed changes about me, but maybe my husband, but I am more observant. I am quieter. It's nice to know that you're not the only one going through things. Friends are going through things with their parents, and seniors go through stuff, and we've learned so much, and it's really nice to know that you're not alone. And I have helped people in that when I hear them, I listen to them, and I can share with them that they're not alone, that these things do happen within families. And we've learned so much, like from Puneetji. So I feel emboldened, and especially with, there have been, since the course started, there have been 4 deaths in my circle. And so I've shared that link, the HCI link for the last rites page, with some friends, because people do get, confused in all of this. And I've shared that. I've just felt emboldened when I'm sitting next to, for example, the daughter of someone who's lost someone, and encouraging her to say the things she wants to say. And I've never been like that. I've always been in the corner and felt that I don't know Hinduism. I don't know, what the right thing to do is, but the right thing to do is what your heart tells you to do. And our culture is so forgiving, and as long as you have the right intentions in mind, do what your heart tells you. So anyway, it's really nice to have this community, and I've learned a lot. I've particularly enjoyed the parts of the Gita and learning, the history and its impact. And of course, all the other things are separate. The like the trust and those type of things, and then you have the religious aspects. So it was nice to get that span, and it's, again, good to know we can always look back at that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, who wants to go next? Ranjaniti and Eric G, you raised your hand, so maybe why don't you go next?
Namaste, everyone. I want to thank the faculty and the board and all the scholars here for such an amazing experience in the past. Well, I joined you a little bit late, so it's the past 5 or 6 months now, something like that. Wow, I mean, as I kind of thought about what the program has contributed, there are 5 like really major things, like big rocks. I mean, lots of little stuff. I mean, big stuff and the little stuff. There's so much depth and richness to each of the lectures, but the 5 big rocks that I see are, number 1 is just this conversation around being of service. It's so huge and open, and to create a community that's having the conversation on a service as a meta practice, and creating openings for people to develop skill in it, and courage to do it, and encouragement to go do what they feel drawn to, I think is just an extraordinary gift to the global community. And it really is a global community here with people from so many places. The content itself, the richness of the principles of care, but not just principles, practices that can be put into place. Just the richness of the curriculum. Clearly it's getting vetted or created richly and vetted again. And it really shows that this has been a honed process. And at least from my perspective, A plus for all the content. And I really appreciate you continuing to take input on it and make it even better for people next time. The for me being, not raised Hindu and it coming into, my path much later in life, it's such a rich wisdom tradition, and being able to engage in it and be a novice in it and learn every week has really contributed to the wonder of our rich history as a human civilization, and to the Indian culture, and seeing its relevance today, as much as it has in the past, and really being able to cut through perhaps some of the things that might be somewhat antiquated and modernize them and make it current. It's a really practical tradition, and the breadth that I had not fully considered before, and really being able to take it all in and understand that has been a gift. And then finally, I think this is to the community and the faculty. This has been a highlight for me. Many days you get to the end of the week and it's Friday, and maybe the week has been difficult. And I don't want to get on the call at times, but I know that I'm committed here, and every time it's like it's a mood shifter. And so the heart and soul of everyone on this call and the faculty is really uplifting for me. And the way it's changed me, it's hard to say. There's always so many things that are going on in life, and there are a few fairly big streams for me. But I think that without a doubt, there's an attunement to aging and caring for the aging of oneself and others, to the fragility of life, and to approach that with grace and reality, and also a level of groundedness that's really comforting and reassuring. So that maybe is kind of one of the great, a really great gift. And I'd say it's impacted my awareness, of that for sure. It has likely impacted my relationships with others in very subtle ways that I can't fully kind of say with certainty, is that like that conversation about aging? But I think as a background awareness, it just permeates everything in my life and all my relations. And so I'm very, very grateful for that kind of a shift. It's very foundational to being human. Thank you.
Thank you, Ericji. Thank you very much. Muridas Prabhuji, your hand was up. You're on mute, so that's.
Yes. I first want to apologize for being late. My apologies to all of you all. I just want to share a few thoughts. The first thing is my genuine appreciation to the board members for having the vision to see an opportunity in Hinduism in terms of, as you all correctly said, there are institutions for Bhakti Yoga and for Jnana Yoga, but for Karma Yoga, there was a niche which has been filled. That vision is really very, very appreciable. And I want to thank all the teachers for the excellent course materials that have been prepared and given. Personally, I benefited by the resources, which have been very rich resources are there, and which I have downloaded and saved many of them, which I think I will go through in more depth later on. And especially in the area of health, I personally benefited by that. So being part of the temple, living in an ashram in the temple, there were certain advantages which naturally came from being in the temple. So to that extent, I was already familiar with many of the Bhagavad Gita philosophies, but it was very nice to hear that there's an opportunity to use the Bhagavad Gita as a medium of chaplaincy. So that is my plan, is to preach the message of the Bhagavad Gita to the university students, to the younger generation, through this chaplaincy route. And my Om Dollar project is also part of that. And we have already had some success in one of the universities in establishing a Hindu students club. Yeah, these are the basic things which I wanted to say. That thank you for all the for the help and the resources that are given to, which are going to be a treasure for our future. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Ranjaniji, I see you're back. So would you like to? I'm just cold calling people now. unless people raise their hand.
Don't leave anybody out.
Yeah, no one will be left. This is like holy, no one will be left with clean clothes.
I think the first thing that has struck me from the first lesson was the learn, serve, learn approach. That cannot be, it's imprinted in my head now. Probably we go through life that way anyways, especially some of us who are more volunteer minded, but that whole phrase is a big part of how I'm looking. So if you ask me what has changed about me, I think it's this, keeping this in front of me every time I go through a life journey. So it's all about that growth, right? The curriculum that has been put forth by this faculty is just a huge positive. It's a very open-minded set of people. I felt a immediate connection with every one of you, and I cannot profusely thank you for all of those well thought out lessons. And it's the vocabulary that I've picked out from every week that y'all have put forth has been huge. Did not have it in my in my toolkit. So it's all very new. I come from an engineering background, so this is all in a different area, and service oriented. I think the previous speaker just said that. I think that's something that is missing in action. I know there are a lot of organizations like Ramakrishna Mission and all of that do a lot of service-based projects, but this is more general. You're not limiting us to a particular organization. You're giving us the tools to go do it in whatever area that we are in, or whichever area we are working off of. The biggest thing that I picked out of it is the term is developing compassionate muscles. That's something I'm going to take back with me. In every activity that I do, have I gotten more kinder? Am I able to withstand a certain situation that I might have lost my patience on? And I have been given the opportunity to be part of a board member in an organization called People's Impact Network. What we do is we sell sustainable saris and ethnic clothing, gently used, and the money that we make out of it is actually recycled into giving grants to smaller nonprofits within the United States. So we're not sending it back to India, but as part of that, I'm heading the volunteering organization and building a volunteer base. We are very small right now. Building a volunteer base requires us to conduct business in a way that we are extremely sensitive about people's backgrounds and whatnot. So, it's all try to conserve money and all of that. Anyways, what has changed about me? I have gotten out of my, I don't know, self-imposed prison of sorts. I've gotten very vocal, quite the opposite of the others. I have gotten emboldened in a way that hasn't happened in the last, I don't know, several years. So it's a big positive for me. I am flying, and I'm going to be helping Anjana ji with some of the recruitment stuff going forward. I am really looking forward to that. Spread the word to many of my friends and colleagues who might be good candidates for this program. I'm hoping they will be able to join us. And finally, I wanted to see if we could form a community of this growing alumni and have a Bhagavad Gita study circle. And I think I've had a chat with Kailashji in the past, but in the light of the work that we are all doing, if we could find time, say once a month or twice a month for an hour or two, and discuss some of the things that we are working on and some of the real issues, a mature conversation. And I think this is a very mature group of people in this whole subset. So anyways, I cannot thank all of y'all enough for what y'all have provided us. Thank you again.
Thank you, Ranjit. And then you can see me after school on the Bhagavad Gita study circle. Right. I know, Anurag ji, your hand was up, and Nalini ji, your hand is up. So Nalini ji, your hand is currently up. So why don't you speak?
Namaste to everybody. I think I'm now sufficiently awake to say a few things. I think I've always been involved in the community and the Hindu community events and organizing events, and as part of the Hindu Association, we do like the 108 recitals of the Hanuman Chalisa, the annual Diwali celebration. So very much from a more administrative sort of position. But I think the thing that has, I understood, the principles of giving back to the community, etc. But I think, Gauravji, I must mention this, that your lecture on Karma Yoga is the thing that sticks with me every day in whatever I do. I think the manner in which it was presented has, it stays with me. It stays with me, and I can see it through whatever I do. And the other part is, I think, the whole aspect of the joy of serving. That's come through, and especially with the ODP that we did as a group. We did a Seniors Connect project, which we've run for 5 sessions, and we've used all the material from the course for it. But I think for me personally, the ability that I had to take the material, especially relating to the seniors and the contemplating death, and that I was able to, I think, for myself to translate that in a conversation with our seniors, that didn't make it a thing to be feared. I was able to translate it into a conversation that the seniors could engage in. So I think that's some of the practical stuff of what's happening in terms of how I see what the course has done. I think I also have a greater consciousness in everything I do. Even if I watch a movie on Netflix, English movie, I can, when they talk about death and things, I relate everything back to what we've seen in the course in terms of the content. So I think that greater consciousness and awareness of everything that we've seen, and I think I have some contribution I'd like to make in terms of the course structure and the content, which I didn't want to do offhand with little short things that come across as criticism. I would like to be able to contribute to actually redoing those things or suggesting my recommendations on how it can be done differently. I think the timing for South Africans as we increase the numbers should be re-looked at. I think I have benefited greatly from our group sessions amongst my Cape Town group of 4. And I think that if going forward, maybe not for the next course, but maybe the one after that, we look at having a separate South African session. And what is there, anything else? Yeah, and I think my enthusiasm for the course and what I've learned from it, even though, like I said, I have some constructive feedback on the course structure itself, is seen because my children, every time they phone me, and they're all over, none of them are with me, the first thing they ask is, how is the course going? Or when's your next seniors project? So I think that comes through. So thank you, I think, for enriching my life and through me, enriching the life of our community here. Thank you.
Beautifully shared. Thank you very much. And Nalini, all constructive criticism and inputs are welcome. Niti ji and I will draft you into our, so this every summer we look at the curriculum and refresh. We have a lot of things on mind, but we'll take your inputs. I know we have other inputs as well. So yeah, it'll be good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Kaleji, would you like to speak? Being that you have probably also woken up enough to speak. And then Anurag, I know your hand was briefly up. So Kaleji, please go ahead.
Thank you, Gauravji. Namaste, everybody. I think for me, 3 things I'd like to share. So the industry I work in, I've been there for almost 2 decades. And I think many of us being technical people, you are made to walk and talk the talk, and I strictly have become that way. Naturally, I'm a creative person. I am introverted. However, my work industry has made me quite rigid. Our industry doesn't allow us to be very creative. And within the organization, I've moved through a few departments, and right now I'm in educating, and I want to talk about something called Bloom's taxonomy. So it talks to how we learn, and when we train, it's not just about acquiring knowledge, skills, but also changing attitudes. And I think I was very vocal from the beginning about how our lessons came across, and how in my mind I've been taught lessons should follow a format. So for me, I think from Bloom's taxonomy, with the knowledge, yes, I got the knowledge and I embraced it well. The skills, yes, but for me, the main thing is the affective learning, that values and the soft things. So that's the mindset that's come very later for me now, latter part of the course, but that's the hugest change that I'm taking. And that's the change that we also try to inculcate in our learners at work. So it's the values, the attitudes for me that have changed. So that's the first thing I want to talk about. Spiritually, things just line up, and every component of the course has fed into where my personal life is. My mom's health is deteriorating. There's little signs of the forgetfulness, the dementia. And finally, we're at the point where my huge challenge was to convince mom now, or how are we going to bring across to her that, you can't be on your own, you need to be with us now. And we are at a point where she said, I can't manage, and I want to come and be with y'all. I want to live with y'all. So it's helped me become slightly softer with her. We've learned that we are not telling each other anymore. It's actually an engagement, a conversation. So that I'm loving, and it's working out well. And the last one was just the immense gratitude. Brought up strictly Sayavite Tamil. It's opened my eyes even more. And I can see how very aligned the Vaishnavite Saivite lines are. It's talking to the same thing, taking us to the same thing. So yeah, immense gratitude. Much love to everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kaji. Mayaji, your hand is up. And I saw you taking notes, so I'm expecting to hear very deeply thought notes.
Sometimes I do divert very easily from there too. Thank you once again for this opportunity. All I can say is that I have been constantly on an inward journey for a long time now. And this journey has brought me many further opportunities of growth, and this being one of them. Counseling has been part of what I do, but I think that this has also brought a different aspect of compassion into what I do with my clients and even with my family. So, I think I've grown up in the temple, being part of the organizations, serving in many different aspects of our community. And now being part of an educare, which runs with the idea of yoga philosophy, that has also brought so much of depth into learning to serve and serve to learn, because we as volunteers are constantly given opportunities of introspection and reflection. I think this course has also taught me that Hinduism is not just about learning the scriptures. Hinduism is a way of life, and if we can understand that, we can grab so many little lessons or nuances from the Gita if we so choose. And it has also just given me such an opportunity, such a drive to want to learn to recite the mantras, because I know that it's not just the teachings that it gives us, but the mantras alone are so rewarding spiritually. So I think that's the course itself has been very eye-opening. The teachings on the karma and the fact that we are honing towards the aspect of karma, or honing on a part of the philosophy of Hinduism is yeah, I don't know what I wanted to say there, but anyway, where to from here, I don't know yet. I can't see myself being completely attached to a particular organization, apart from maybe HCI, and I'm already attached to the educare that I volunteer at. So I'm hoping to even bring what I've learned here into that, counseling the teachers, or counseling other volunteers, or counseling even the parents of the children who come, not from a Hindu perspective, but probably very, very broadly. And yeah, I think there've been so many little, like Kaleji has said, there's been a lot of softness, and there's been a lot of loudness, and that I've gained from this being part of the course. I can't believe that we are coming to the end of it, because it felt like it was going to be such a far away still away. But and I'd like to reiterate also, Nalini ji, about our timing, because South Africa's timing is very, very early. So we still wake up by the time we've come to the second person talking. And yeah, I'd just like to use this opportunity to say thank you. Thank you for this platform. Thank you for opening up our minds to something that is, I think that is needed, and something that we can really share with so many. I mean, I've already spoken to a few people who are very keen to be part of this, and will also enhance their counseling skills, because they are already serving very broadly, but keen to take part. And yeah, thank you everybody for, and I think it's what has also helped is that we've broadened our network. You know, we are global. So namaste and thank you.
Thank you very much. Anurag.
Namaste, everybody. So for me, it was like a very good journey, and I would like to just share what I like about it. Maybe some changes we can make to the program. Maybe but that's only my personal opinion. So first of all, I would say, I mean, I learned a lot. One thing I learned was more about the human behavior. So my voice is fine?
Yes.
Okay. So what I learned was, I mean, really what impacted was those kind of lectures from Punitji about the human behavior really helped me out understanding more and, you know, being better listener than just talking. And so far, I mean, again, it's just my personal thing. I felt that the lecture on Gita was really, really good for me. It's so many things I learned from that and I implemented in my life. And then again, on the death, just like now I'm just, when I go somewhere, I'm more kind of listener than, you know, trying to console them. And it was really opened my eyes, and I feel like I'm more comfortable like going outside and being volunteering and volunteering outside. I think I feel myself more equipped, and I understand it's a long journey, but and so that's my personal thing. I mean, and so something I think I feel again is my personal. I feel like these kind of changes would have helped me more. One thing is like we always had this in the class, like the group presenting. I felt it was taking too much time. I wanted more coming from the expert, the faculty talking more. I mean, somehow we can just limit it maybe to one or two group, randomly call a group, hey, what is your opinion? Sometimes I felt like it's kind of repetitive. And I thought, man, there's so many knowledgeable people sitting here and there's so much experience. I want to know more, maybe know more about meditation, maybe know more about Gita. But again, this is my personal thing. And I felt like, again, we need more kind of exposure to meditation and pranayam, maybe one or two sessions on that, which we can, when we go to the people and we can work with them. I mean, I read a lot of books on it, so I have some idea about it. I also follow a lot of books from Gayatri Parivar, so, but really helped me out. I think that knowledge, I think if we have some session on that, I think it can help other people. And it's still, I like Punitji's when she said that in long-term anxiety is a depression. It's not something, it's like a disease. It's just long-term anxiety. So if you work on anxiety, you can take care of that. A lot of good lectures from Mukunji and Kailashji and I mean Mangalaji and everybody have just invaluable. I mean, it really helped me out. So I would just stop it. Just I would put like one or two more things, and which I felt like could have helped me more. I think, and I think we already mentioned about the Gita. I felt like we need more information on Gita, like more, because what you taught on Karma was really invaluable, really, really helping me out. So I was just thinking, I mean, it's just we talk on Karma Yoga, and I mean, so much information there, and so much, I mean, gems of invaluable information is there. If we could have got something more, I mean, would have helped us out. And but this is gonna be, I think, my last time taking too much time. One thing could be like from homework. I mean, we could sometime make the homework maybe like a role play, and then people just come back and just do and present to the group that would learn, and instead of everybody just going one after another. I mean, again, that's my personal opinion. I think I'm not connecting too wisely, but I think this is what I have to say.
Thank you, Anurag. I just wanted to say on meditation, outside of HCI, I am running free meditations for professionals. I have my calendar open. You know, there's meetings you can sign up for. You should definitely sign up for those. This is not a meditation teaching class. You will get directly into it. It's a meditation experiencing class in the context of work. So essentially, you're still doing your work, but you're doing it in a meditative state. So you're free to, to join those. And if you need me to run those at your time zone, we can figure out a better time. It's all good.
So can you please, sorry, go ahead.
I can write the website here. That's okay. So My website is ekrasworks, ekrasworks.com, ekrasworks.com. You can go check it out. It's designed, essentially my project there is making meditation available to professionals in the context of work so people can focus and finish things, right? And the inspiration is that in the Gita also, Arjun in the middle of the battlefield is being taught meditation. And why is that? Because that's when you need your mind the most. And so that's what we're doing. So you can sign up. On the homework, I heard other feedback as well as class participation. The Dean's office is recasting both the homeworks and the class participation. Next year is turbocharged because people come in with $Dollar projects on the get-go, their accounts are running, and the homeworks people are doing relate to their service in the context of the whatever's being discussed in the class. So they're coming back with practical inputs and not let me play back the slides, right? So it'll be a far more enriching conversation next year.
Makes sense. Thank you.
So thank you for that feedback. All right, Dr. Divyaji, you're next. And then Panditji, you're next. Panditji is next.
Hello, namaste, everybody. Good evening to all of you, and it's so nice to see all of you again. I hope all is well. First, I want to take this opportunity to thank all of the faculty of HCI, Gauravji, Ushaji, and everything. You guys have been wonderful and encouraging. I admit that, coming on a Friday evening, because I get up very, very early in the morning, I'm so exhausted when it comes to coming to the classes and whatnot, but it has been a pleasure to listen and to learn and to actually discuss many of the topics that have been there. I also want to extend my thanks to Mukundji. You have suggested a fantastic and awesome project with regard to the recipe exchange program. I have about 17, 18 recipes that I have put there and submitted as part of my Dollar project. And I thought it was a really interesting thing because, as all of you know, my background is in nutrition. I am a dietitian and a professor in nutrition, and I have over 2 decades of experience working in the field of nutrition. And so it has been a really good to learn a lot of things. I really believe I have a lot to learn when it comes to Hinduism and the philosophy and aspects. My deepest interest has to do with being as part of a service with regards to karma yoga, and I really think that has been something that, because I created my own NGO many years ago, and I have done a lot of international development related work. So service is something that has it's something that's very close to the bottom of my heart. And I think that every individual, regardless of where they come from, should at least take the initiative to do service-related work, and not just for the sake of it, but to really understand the true meaning of what it is to be a human being and to really help people. And that is one of the, or as well as animals on our planet. And these are the principles that truly reflect on what it is to be a Hindu. So thank you very much to each and every one of you. I know it's not easy to be able to set time every single week and to, apart from your full-time jobs, and to be able to do this and to organize the classes, to engage in the lectures and take the time out of your busy schedule to do this. And we very much appreciate everything from each and everywhere around the world. So thank you again, Gauravji, and it's a pleasure to connect with each and every one of you online.
Thank you very much, Dr. Divyaji. Panditji?
Namaste, everyone. Namaste. Good evening. And first of all, I would like to thank you all for inviting me, even though I've only spent half of the time here in HCI. But as a student, this is what gave me the opening here. And first of all, I'd like to thank you, Dr. Kailashji, Gauravji, Mangalaji, Acharya, Mukundaji, and all the other faculty representatives. Even though I'm practicing as registered as an ordained priest in Ontario, Canada, the HCI courses, how much I have done has really enhanced my performance in community service. And as far as the temple goes, temples are not only places for bhajans and scriptures and so on. Temples we have much more than that. In today's society, the role of the temple has changed, where we have to take the people into consideration. We have to do all the other things that we have learned at HCI. And that is will be my goal. As regarding the service in the community, I'm still doing that. I'm a professor at college. I teach IT. So all of this has really given me a good foundation for the courses at GTU. As you know, I am at GTU. I've just finished my 4th semester. And what I have learned at HCI over the first half of the course gave me a solid foundation to do those courses at GTU. So I really appreciate your efforts, all of you, all the resident faculty. I appreciate it. I am presently working with Mangalaji to get some case studies set up and some other things that we can do, whatever we can do. I'm also trying to get some recruitment done, because of what I have benefited from, I like other people to benefit as well. So we want to get this 108, as you were mentioning, 108 chaplains within such time. So that is my goal. I like to contribute. So God bless all of you. Thank you very much. Dhanyavad. Jai Sri Ram.
Thank you.
Dilipji, would you like to go next? And then Himaniji, if you could think about what to say, that'll be great. Dilipji, you're unmuted. Yeah, please go ahead.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah. Good morning. Basically, I like this coach really very good. Regarding the community work, I was doing this thing more than 25 years, but it is just, I'm working as a doing mankind work. But from this course, I know so many things systematically and what are some legal obligation and something there. In my journey, most of the work I did as a leadership and management level. So most of the projects are very high, big, and result oriented. Just last week, I have started one more project, and that is the one we are planning to make one Hindu school in Sydney. And that is about $21 million job, and land has already purchased, and we are working on that. I'm thankful to all the people, all this material, and giving me all the information. And thank you very much for everybody. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Dilipji. Himaniji, you ready?
Yes. So, firstly, I would like to say thank you to each of you, like of course, Dr. Kailashji and Gauravji, Mangalaji, and everyone. My heart is full of deep gratitude for all of you. Obviously, for your time, the amazing course content, and a lot I have learned during the past almost 1 year on this course. Personally, I did have a lot of challenges during the whole 1 year, but I think I was determined in the sense that I'm not going to give up, and I will keep learning and learning whatever I can. And the course has helped me at many times, actually. Every time I went to the lectures, it just gave me exactly the same thing that I needed at that point in time to carry on. And I'm very thankful for that. One thing that has stuck to me is a word called Karma Yoga. And of course, that's Gauravji, it reminds me of you. But the way every time I think of HCI, I think of Karma Yoga, and then I think of Karma Yogi. So it doesn't just stop at Karma Yoga, but then what does it mean to be Karma Yogi, which is in action? And grown up in a Brahmin family as a Chaturvedi and everything, I had a concept of karma, but I did not understand like yoga or the yogi part. But after this course, I think I have got a deeper appreciation of what it means to be a karma yogi, like putting that in action. And that has got imprinted on myself very deeply. So thank you for that. I do echo everyone's sentiments, each and everyone who has spoken. I think I echo that deeply. There's so much to learn. One thing that I think is what's next, and I don't want to stop here. I want to keep going. Like, I want to continue my journey with HCI and whatever the life is going to bring forward. I am looking into Sydney to find some avenues where I can start to serve in hospitals somehow. So it is like very regulated industry over here. So there are a lot of rules and regulations. So I'm just trying to get through that personally. So yeah, without further ado, I just want to say again, thank you very much for an amazing platform, definitely, and your hard work. And I'm looking forward to continue, not stop, definitely. So thank you once again.
Humanity, and I've been following your progress through the course, and you've been unwell, and you persisted, and you've come from behind. You finished all your homeworks in time. It's a lot of credit, and I really appreciate your persistence and your perseverance. So thank you for getting to this point. Well done. Sure. Balaji and Oshinji.
Oh, Gauruji, did you mention my name?
Yeah, please go ahead. Yes.
Okay. Namaskar, everyone. Mala Sethi here. What my biggest takeaway from this course was the whole concept of spiritual care. Caring, as a mother, now a grandmother, has been very much a part of my life, the very reality of my life. But making it a spiritual, giving it a spiritual flavor, if you will, has been, how do I say, a sweet transformation. I would say my ambitions, personal ambitions for this course are actually rather small. My ambit, my desire for to do big things has actually reduced. I just want to do whatever I do better, well, with love, with attention, with compassion. I loved my little group discussions with my study group. I really appreciated all that others have had to share. Especially enjoyed connecting with the diaspora, Hindu communities around the world. Enjoyed listening to their stories, their background, their histories, and how they're translating what we are learning in their lives. I've enjoyed helping HCI in whatever little way I can. I appreciate what the teachers have taught us. And in some ways, I've become quite sensitive to wanting to make the material more enriching, more efficient, so that we do not lose any traction in the learning process. And the time we give the material and the impact it has on us will be that much more rich if the material were tighter, and more connections could be made between the rich offerings of Hindu tradition with all the things that the West has given us, science, medicine, psychology. Because ultimately Hinduism, I would argue, is not only about moksha, it's about dharma, artha, and kama as well. And it's really about living a full life, a whole life, a rich life. With that, I'll pass on the baton for the next speaker.
Thank you,
and thank you.
Thank you. Ashim ji, Nirupama ji, Naishta ji, if you feel compelled to speak, we would love to hear your reflections.
And Gaurav-ji, do you mind if I go now?
Thank
you, God.
Yeah. Ashim ji,
Yeah, please go ahead.
Ji.
Hi, sorry.
Yeah, please go ahead. Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry, I've just got network issues, so I'm struggling to stay online. So I just wanted to say that I think I missed some of the presentations, but from a South African perspective, I think we have put forward some suggestions to Vatikanji, and I think he's probably already brought that through to the resident faculty in the US. I must say that there's an immense sense of gratitude from myself personally, because the CHT course came at a difficult transition in my life. And, I like to think that the universe conspires in ways that benefits us. So much like the other speakers have said, certain topics here have been very relevant to my emotional, spiritual, religious upliftment. Concurrently, just out of interest, I'm also doing an emotional intelligent course for adults. And this ties in with that as well, because you cannot be aligned spiritually if you cannot connect within yourself and to what you're feeling and what you're going through, and recognize that aspect as well. And to recognize that within oneself is to recognize the higher power. So it's kind of all come full circle for me on a personal note. I think as well, just to give a little bit of perspective, just in, let's say, to take 3 generations in my family, my granny could speak, read, and understand Tamil. My mother can speak and probably understand Hindi. And if I can count in Hindi and Tamil to 10, and if I can say a few words that I can count on my fingers, that's the extent to what a 6th generation non-resident Indian has gained. So for me, this was also about coming back to my roots. Exposure is obviously one thing within a family and within a community, but trying to get back to the essence of Hinduism is what I think this course has helped me start to dip my fingers back into. So I am eternally grateful for that. I hope to inspire a lot more of the younger, and I'm not that young anymore, but the younger generation to embark on this journey, because I think that the lessons from the Gita are so universal, and yet what HCI has managed to do so beautifully is taken so many aspects of that and made it current so that the youth can kind of understand it. So thank you very much for that. And yes, going forward, like Nalini ji said, we'd love to give feedback and constructive feedback towards a South African perspective. So yeah, watch the space. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Naishta. Ashim ji, please. Ashim ji, you're probably speaking on mute, and then Nirupama ji, you have unmuted, so you can go next.
Namaskar, everyone. I am from the cohort 4. So here I am just listening your experiences, and I really enjoyed that. But I would just like to reinforce my experience in cohort 4. And whenever I got time in cohort 5, I was on the session quietly listening, and I really enjoyed. And I would definitely recommend to become FA. It is such a rewarding experience, and listening to other people, how they are taking the message, what they are doing, the translation in their lives. And just now I listened how it has transformed our lives, or what people are saying, the changes in about us. That's fantastic. We actually were not asked that. I wish we were also asked that.
We're
But
learning.
yes,
We're learning.
yes. Yes, and it's such a good thing that we are going to be having access to Moodle, so we can refresh things. This is something, and now I am hearing the WhatsApp, the ODP app, which is pretty good. We didn't have that, but yeah, I think it will be all good, and you guys will have really good takeaway from this to your life, and it will definitely enrich your life and life around you people. Thank you very much to all the faculty for such a enriching experience. Thank you.
Nirupaji, you just have to join cohort 6.
Yeah.
No.
I know.
She's not joining cohort 6. She is our flag bearer for
yes,
all
I am
incoming
just...
functional leaders. That's what she is. See, you'll be meeting and working with people like Nirupa. That's what you'll be doing when you join HCI leadership.
Wonderful.
Thank you, Nirupa.
All right. Ashimji, are you able to speak? Otherwise, I have 1 minute of more announcements. Ashimji has unmuted, so please go right ahead. And Bhavish Bhai is joining as well. Okay. Ashimji, why don't
Thank you, Gauravji.
you...
It's been a very interesting experience.
Yeah.
I particularly like the format of how the course started off with an overview of Hinduism in itself, and then went into specific key topics that are with a specific emphasis on key topics as we
your audio is very patchy. We're not able to hear.
My greatest takeaway, I think, was
Ashimji, do you mind
active diaspora from across the globe. If you're familiar with a very prolific Hindus,
Ashimji, we can't hear you.
my English is not the best. What I'll do is
Yeah, okay. Well, sorry, yeah. Bhavish Bhai, I know you're, yeah. Okay, so, yeah. Okay, Bhavish Bhai, I know you're able to speak, right? So would you like to chip in? Bhavishji? All right. All right. Bhavishji, if you had one more last call, otherwise, any other speaker that I may have missed out, or anyone have new thoughts upon reflection from what you've heard so far?
Second thoughts.
Any second and third thoughts, we would welcome those. While you're thinking about it, I did want to tell you that in terms of the changes we're doing, like someone said, they wish they'd done the course when they were 40. We hope to keep improving the course so much that everyone should feel that maybe I should have taken the next cohort. So, So one of the other changes we're doing is we are focusing on stories as part of our curriculum design itself. So you see that Mangalaji and Panditji are working on creating these stories, these pivotal conversations. We will introduce you to the stories up front, so you know the context in which the services are being provided. You become friends with those families and their situation, and then when we teach and we think about homework, you are now thinking about how I will apply. What we're trying to do is get to be the best service learning program that we can be, right? By teaching you not just the theory, but always pushing to, okay, how are you going to serve? We've got the ODP going, we've got the stories going, we have the reflections going. By the end of this course, you will feel, like so many of you have already said, very confident to serve, not just confident, but compelled to serve, because you've got used to it, you have momentum. Your own dollar account is going up, and you need to do something. So next year, you will see that the course has significantly improved from this year, and then hopefully it'll keep rolling forward.
I want to add one
comment.
I think Bhaveshji said he won't be able to speak, so I think he probably covered all the comments.
Yeah.
But I wanted to mention something. That point has been raised by both Australia and South Africa, and we very much recognize and we want to do it, which is the localization of certain courses. So of the 24 courses, think about 3 or 4 at least, where a local content would complete the story. Without that, it doesn't. I think the state planning was one example. Maybe there are some other places where the regulatory and governmental intervention or training, whatever comes into play. So that we are willing to add that to the course, but it has to be recommended and produced by Australia, the scholars or the management there, and same thing with South Africa. So identify the topic, identify the speaker, and then let's do the recording. And then we put an appendix on each of the lessons. We'll give the lesson, we say, oh, by the session 19, we also have a adjunct to Australia and South Africa for people to make sure that they understand that. That's the approach we're going to take. But in cohort 6, we do not want to hear a concern on that score at all. We want to include both of those countries because they have enough attendees to give them a localized character. I just want to add that point, Gaurav.
Thank you, Kailash. From the resident faculty, are there any other reflections that you'd like to share, including Ushaji, if you have reflections?
I would just want to compliment this cohort again on their compassion, their commitment to service, and really the passion for the subject and the continuing to serve. I think I've come away today re-energized by listening to all of you. So thank you for that.
Yep. I agree with Ushaji, would you like to say something?
Just that I'm really looking forward to graduating every one of you. It'll be our happiest moment, I think, right?
And make sure that each scholar ensures that they are graduation ready, that it is there, that steering wheel is in their hands.
Yes.
And they have to clear that through Ushaji and through the resident faculty. And then we want to welcome you to graduation on August 18th and have a great celebration together.
And 19th where you might be, so just
and graduation will be your day, and you get to, a lot of the input will be coming from all of you. That's the way HCI does graduation.
And invite family and friends.
Kailash?
Thank you. I think what I forgot to say is that what was the most refreshing thing for me is that not only the faculty, but the cohort as well. Everyone was just so authentic, and that is what I look for in people, because a lot of the time you don't see that in the world. So thank you for your authenticity. And I think this faculty, this course, and even everybody just doing the course, we're finding our way to becoming our best selves. And like Bhaveshji said, this is going to facilitate for him to move from his accounting field to the other part where he wants to be. So it's facilitating us to be what we were always intended to be, to follow our sole purpose. So thank you again.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad, but I'm also disappointed this time. Usually I'm expecting to hear the following sentence, which is, it's the last session. We don't know what to do with our weekends anymore. So this is habit forming. So we hope you make good use of the extra 2 hours you get back in your weekends. Naliniji, your hand is up. So would you like to say something?
Yeah, sorry. I just wanted to, I forgot to mention the ODP in more, we picked the Seniors Connect looking at alleviating loneliness in seniors. But I think at the end of the day, we adapted it to look at wellness for seniors and the whole aspects around end of life issues. And we've had 5 engagements. We've built up a database of about 130 seniors in the community that have attended the sessions. And I think that the significant thing is that we've decided that we are not ending this with the ODP, that we are going to continue that and sustain that project. And I think that the 2 sessions ago when we did the session, somebody said to me at the end of the session, aren't you tired now, of talking and organizing? And I said, no, I'm happy, because that was such a nice session. And I think that the theory that you teach in terms of the joy you get from serving is actually what we could experience in the ODP. And I think one last thing was that what Kailash mentioned in terms of the South African context, in terms of the legal issues, etc. I'm quite happy to contribute to those sessions, and also any aspect on Hinduism. Even if I can't help personally, I can facilitate the person that can contribute to those sessions. Thank you.
So by the way, Bitaganji is our kind of a center point, and I hope he creates 10 more center points in South Africa over the next few years. So you please all be prepared to that's an amazing, both he and his brother have been outstanding. They were the first two scholars last year, and then you were the second cohort coming in. And so now we're going to see the geometrical growth and this amazing commitment. We really, and by the way, I have to say, South Africa as a team, you made deep impressions on us from your the depth you've taken, but also your 5th, 6th generations coming up with the kind of comprehension you had from this discussion. You brought a different kind of flavor, a very rich flavor of our heritage. We're not only geography, but the heritage also. So I just want to recognize that also. Okay.
And if I may make a quick comment on what Nalini ji said about her Om Dollar project, their model of working with the seniors has been outstanding. I've been following their work as they've been going along. And they have a template, I believe, that they can pass on to anyone else who's interested in to recreate what they do in your local community. So this is an Om Dollar project that I think can have legs and live and grow and go international. Thank you for that work, folks.
Thank you. All right. So with that being said, we want to radiate out good wishes into the universe to the well-being of all. We do that with the closing prayers, which is Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina. So please prepare yourself, sit comfortably. Sit in any comfortable posture with your back straight. The back is straight but not stiff. The back, neck, and head are in a straight line. Close your eyes gently and relax the expression on your face. Relax your shoulders. Relax your belly. Bring the palms together in Namaskar Mudra. The palms touching gently. The back of the thumbs pressed into the chest. We're going to chant Om once and then the closing prayer, Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina. Exhale completely. Take a deep breath. Inhale. Inhale and chant. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina. Sarve Santu Niramaya. Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu. Ma Kashid
FaceTime video.
Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Take your arms behind you, grab your right wrist with your left hand, breathing in, stretch. Breathing out, bend forward in a deep sense of surrender. Come back up, breathing in, release your hands, rub your palms together to generate the heat. Then gently cup your eyeballs to transfer that heat, and then blinking, open your eyes and pull your palms back like an open book. Namaskar, thank you very much, congratulations, and we wish you all the best. See you at the graduation, and then we hope to remain connected as your Om Dollar accounts keep ratcheting up. Thank you very much.
Namaste, namaste.
Thank you, namaste.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.